I'm gonna call this a real moment, man. I'm gonna call this a real moment. I already been a little teary eyed. That's why I got dry stuff on my face. But I had to go live with this. Um, Something just told me to. I'm about to be real vulnerable with y'all right now. Um, Basically, I'm sitting here having Bible study with my children, right? Stink, tugga wugga. Honey was involved in this, but I had to have her step out the room. You know what I'm saying? So we sitting here having Bible study, and we was talking about our time in North Dakota. Okay. And it kind of got deep. It kind of got deep because for those of you that know, a couple years ago, my youngest daughter's dad came out on social media with all this stuff about me, right? And when I went to North Dakota with him, my kids, these two right here, they were babies. They were not even school aged, right? Am I on the right channel? Is this my family and food channel? I hope I'm on the right channel. Honey, give me a second, love. Bullets Gotti, is this my family and food channel?
Of course it has food in it.
I hope this ain't the supernatural channel. But anyway, I hope this the family and food channel. But anyway, so we sitting here, we talking. You know, I don't mess with that third eye, Bullets Gotti. You know, that's been closed for a long time now. I don't even claim that no more. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel you, though. But anyway, so we sitting here, we having Bible study. I'm talking to my kids, you know, because they are old enough now. Stink is 13, Toogie is 15. I'm talking to them about, you know, some things that I went through with them in North Dakota while they was little. But then they started telling me some stuff that I never knew. Am I lying, y'all?
No.
And I said, wait a minute, I need to document this. Like, I just feel like I'm finna be very vulnerable with y'all right now. Because when that man came out on social media, first of all, I didn't even know that he was doing some of the stuff that he was doing. I didn't know a lot about the recordings. I didn't know a lot about of the conversations that he had with my children. They just now telling me this now. And I feel so bad because I thought that he was safe. I thought that he was safe. This is a man that I had been knowing since I was 16. You know, he got me away from my friends and my family in Chicago, took me, isolated me in North Dakota where I had no friends and no family. My kids were babies, so, you know, he basically watched them grow up. You see what I'm saying? So at one point, he was all they had knew. But it was just, the shit that they telling me right now is blowing my mind. So we gonna start with Tugga. Now, Tugga just told me about a time where she felt, what you say? You telling me about a time that you said you didn't like something that he did to me, right?
Yes.
Now, in your own words, explain what happened, because I remember this night. I was 2 months pregnant with Honey. I will never forget this night. Explain in your own words what happened, what you remember, and what you didn't like.
Okay, so first, let me start off by saying I remember some of the things that he said when I asked him questions. So I remember you sitting in the front seat, me and Emma in the back seat with our seatbelts on, him like just driving and stuff, and we were going to Chicago, right? So boom, we're driving and stuff, and it's dark. Mind you, it's dark outside. No
It was really
light,
dark.
No nothing.
It was really dark.
And there were like little bit of cars, not a whole lot, not traffic.
Go see what Honey want real quick. Go ahead, Tugga.
Okay. So I'm just minding my business. Next thing you know, they're like talking. They start off by talking, and then it gets.
Who was talking?
You and him. He was talking, and you were like answering like a normal tone, and he was getting mad.
Do you remember what the conversation was about?
No, I don't.
It was about. No, tell Honey she can't come in right now.
Mama said you did.
Cause see, we talking about her dad, and I don't want to talk about him in front of her because I don't want to paint him in a bad light to her to make her look at him in a different way. You see what I'm saying? But this shit just really like it just blew me just now. But anyway, the conversation was about food. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So no, for real, it was. So when I was pregnant with Tigger, I used to pass out a lot. That's a symptom. You see what I'm saying? I used to have to always eat and keep my blood sugar up. It was the same thing with Honey. So when I was 2 months pregnant with Honey, we was on the way going to Chicago. I think Minnesota is about 7 hours away from North Dakota. It was late, so he was like, okay, we're going to drive through North Dakota. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. Then once we get to Minnesota, then I'll get you something to eat. I had fell asleep. By the time I woke up, we was almost out of Minnesota. So I was asking about food. I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was about food. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, boom. Next thing, I'm just listening. It gets really, really heated. He starts getting mad, and Mama's just sitting there confused, like, what are you getting mad at me for? I'm just asking, like, about something to eat. Boom, stops the car on the side of the road. There's nothing on the side of us but grass and darkness.
Yeah.
So he stops the car. Now I'm just sitting in the back like, what's going on? Are we here? Da, da, da. Next thing I know, he's telling Mama to get out. She not getting out because what does she need to get out for? She just asked about food. He gets out, grabs her out the car, boom, throws her on the ground. I'm just sitting in the car like, what? So boom, next thing I know, we're driving away. I'm thinking Mama got back in the car, looking in the front seat, she not there. So here's what I remember. I'm like, where's Mama? Where's Mama? He's not answering. I'm like, where's Mama? He's like, oh, she's gonna be okay. Da, da, da. I'm like, are we gonna go get her? He was like, no, not right now. Blah blah blah. I'm like, huh? So I just sit there, be quiet, because I'm just like, I don't know what's happening. I'm little. I don't know what to do. Like, what can I do? So then, like, I don't know. Like, next thing I know, like, we get Mama again. But it's like he doesn't care. He's like, it makes him happy, basically. That's how I basically saw him. Like, he enjoyed it. Like, he didn't care. He didn't care that you were hungry. He didn't care that you were literally walking on the side of the road in the dark, in the cold. Like, he didn't care. Like, come on now.
So basically, okay, before I tell the actual story on what happened, Sting, what you remember from that night? Because y'all was so little.
It was, like, really short. But what I remember was we were driving. And what I remember, it was like we was just driving and driving, never ending. It was just black. A road ahead, right? And I remember Mama laughing, and like I think he told a joke. This is when I remember. And then he had stopped the car for some reason, and Mama was laughing while he picked her up. I remember him spinning you around, and then he put you. This is what I remember. He put you gently on the side of the road, and then I remember you getting back in the car, and we kept driving.
No, that's not what happened, Stink. Like I said, y'all was little, so your mind is probably it's probably a little vague. But what I'm gonna tell y'all what really happened that night. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we was on the way to Chicago. I didn't eat before I left. You see what I'm saying? I'm worried about my health and my well-being, because I know if my blood sugar drop at a certain level, I'm gonna start shaking. If I start shaking, what's gonna come after that is I'm gonna pass out. Because that's what happened with my first daughter. That's very common in women that are pregnant. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to make sure I had something to eat, make sure my blood sugar level was decent. So he said when we get to Minnesota, he was going to buy food for all of us. You see what I'm saying? So I ended up falling asleep. By the time I woke up, we was halfway out of Minnesota. And when I woke up, I was trembling a little bit. But I was just asking him about food. Like, where we at? Can we stop at a gas station? This, that, and the other. Like, he got irritated. Being around this man and living with this man, it was like walking on eggshells. You see what I'm saying? You couldn't really ask for anything. You couldn't really, you barely could breathe around him. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, that's what happened. He ended up getting real mad because I was asking for food. I was like, well, I need to eat now. You see what I'm saying? You said we was going to stop at this location. We damn near out of Minnesota now. So when is we going to stop and get some food? Shit, not only for me, but for my kid. You see what I'm saying? Because at the time, he was the breadwinner, and we was solely dependent on him. You see what I'm saying? We was in his car. He was taking all of us to Chicago. So, okay, we end up getting into it. He stops the car, okay, in the middle of the road. He gets out, and he try to pull me out. So I'm laughing because I'm like, yo, is you serious? I'm trying to make light of the situation. I'm like, you serious? So I'm locking the door. He unlocking it. I'm locking it. He unlocking it. This man grabs me and pulled me out the car, knocks me down. He hit me so hard my hair wrap fell off. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to get back up. He gets in the car and drives off with my kids. I had to walk so far, I don't even remember if it was a mile or 2 miles. Straight down to the first gas station I saw, bro. Okay? I went in there. I'm looking all crazy. The lady behind the register, she looking at me. I go straight into the bathroom. I'm wiping dirt off me and shit. I called my mama to tell her what was going on. So she like, where he at? I'm like, I don't know. He drove off with the kids type shit. You see what I'm saying? Bro, next thing I know, he comes in the store. Okay, like ain't shit happened. Like ain't nothing just happened with the kids. So I'm on the phone with my mama. I'm like, he just walked in with the kids now type shit. So the lady looking at me behind the register, she like, you need me to call the police? No, I don't need you to call the police. I'm finna get back in this car with my kids and we finna go. You see what I'm saying? So that's what happened that night. Now, I never knew that my kids felt the way about this shit until now.
And then another thing, like there were times where we were like gone and then went back to him, gone and went back to him. But I feel like it was for a good reason because Mama didn't want Honey to be without her father. That's why I think. Why. But then I was little, and then I didn't want to seem like I was grown or anything. But I wanted to ask you, like, why do you keep going back to him if he keeps doing this? But I didn't, because I didn't want to seem grown, because obviously I was little, but like still.
And then the way I thought about it was, because I don't know, my mom was like so weird, because I remember the gas station part. I don't know how, but I remember Mama walking into the store, even though I wasn't there. That's weird. And then another thing, I remember Mama asking me, should we give him another chance? And I was like, yeah, we should. I didn't know what I was thinking. I didn't really know how to feel about it because I was little. So.
Because he kept putting us out. So this how it was, y'all. When we first got to North Dakota, when he first introduced the idea of, go ahead, say what you got to say.
Okay, so I remember, Mama just brought up him putting us out part, and I remember this part. We were in it was the apartment where me and Emma had our own room, and Honey still with.
Did I have Honey at the time? Because by that time we had the house.
Yeah, because Honey wasn't there because there was only enough room.
So Honey wasn't even thought of yet.
Yes, and we had Kari.
Okay, the Chevy Lumina. Yeah, Honey wasn't even
Right. So me and Emma were in our room and we were eating our food. We had like burgers or something, and Mama and him and I think there were a couple other people. They were all in the kitchen and in the living room doing stuff. There was music, blah 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 blah. And next thing I know, there's like arguing and stuff, and he's like saying, "Get your stuff," blah blah blah. So next thing I know, we're all in the hallway, and then he starts doing too much. So then we go downstairs, and now next thing I know, we're in Kari going to sleep.
What I remember.
So we did that. So that I did tell them that we slept in the car. It was a lot of times that we slept in the car. Okay, because that is what his go-to was. Because I didn't have anybody. I did not have nobody. It was just me and my 2 kids. I didn't have no friend. Even though he had his family there, and I, got to know his family, his father, the wife, the cousin Mike, his wife Carly. I couldn't go to them and tell them what was going on with him. This is his family. You see what I'm saying? I'm automatically knowing they're going to take his side over me. You see what I'm saying? So I was out there lost, y'all. A lot of the time, majority of the time, I was lost out there for real.
When that happened, like when he put us out, so basically what I remember was I was sitting at the table eating cereal, and then and then Mama's, I don't know, she was like, come on, we gotta go, or something like that. And then next thing I know, we're in the car. But while we were there, because I remember the place, he would like tell me, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he started telling me like when it turns night, the moon gets red and the sky gets red, and like bats and stuff. And you gotta stay away from that.
He used to tell me that too, like weird stuff about like how he was the ghost and how he would turn into stuff when the night turned.
Wait a minute, away. Pause. Like for real, what is you saying right now?
Yes, that's what he used to say.
What?
that like like what she said about the moon and the bats, he was saying how he was the ghost. And like when I asked him why did he call himself that, he was like because he turns into something when the night goes something like.
He didn't tell me that. He just told me about the sky and the moon turning red and stuff.
Yes, and I remember the time that this happened. This was when me and Emma were downstairs in the studio making a song with him, and we were making a song, and we had.
I remember that.
Yeah, we were making a song, and Emma had went upstairs to go get something at the cabinet, and I asked him why does he call himself the ghost, because he had said that in the microphone at the end of the song, and that's why I asked that.
And then while we were down there, I don't know if you were there or if you weren't, he just gave me a whole lot of, he was like, here, use this in the video. He gave me a whole lot of money that he told me to start throwing it around. So I started throwing it around.
He gave you a whole lot of what?
Money. Like cash.
I never saw that. I never saw the video.
He like gave me money and just said throw it around and stuff. So like I was just playing with it. And then yeah, that's when we were making a song. I don't know if it was about school. I think it was. He was like, okay, what do you like about school? And then we just started making.
See, I didn't know about what you just said. He said he called himself the ghost because he turned into shit.
Yeah, but I really didn't think nothing of it.
Me neither.
Didn't. I didn't.
So let me tell y'all why this is important. The reason why this is important is because, like I said, we sit here. We was in the middle of Bible study, and I was telling my kids that a lot of the strange stuff didn't start happening until we moved to North Dakota. You see what I'm saying? For example, my kids were so little around this time. They wasn't even school age. They used to tell me that y'all say it. Y'all go ahead and say it.
So
about what y'all saw.
Yes,
somebody walking in the hallway.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
it was mostly.
And I didn't never think of it. They used to tell me that shit, and I just used to be like, huh? What? Now I knew what he was into because he the one that got me involved in it. You see what I'm saying? Because before we went to North Dakota, I used to always try to get him to come to church with me. He would never come. He would always decline. He would never come. You see what I'm saying? And then eventually, he just kept showing me stuff. And so, curiosity killed the cat. So I'm starting looking into this stuff, and he's making it make sense. So he kind of is the one that got me away from God and from the church, because my kids was in church. They was in a children's ministry. They was on a children's choir. I was an usher. We was going to Victory Outreach faithfully every Sunday, every Wednesday. We was going to Power Up service faithfully. And it seemed like the more I tried to get him to come to church with me, the more stuff he'll show me, the more stuff he'll tell me. You see what I'm saying? So that's what kind of got me away from Christianity and how I got involved in the shit that I got involved in. But as soon as we moved to North Dakota, that's when my kids started telling me shit, like they seeing stuff in the hallway.
Yes, and it was like a whole. I used to see a bunch of stuff at her dad's house, a lot when we used.
Which one, the house or the apartment?
The apartment, not the house. I remember that I used to see like in the hallway like a very tall man with a cape and a hat, and I was just so.
I just saw a very tall man.
Yes, like I used to think that it was just like a shadow in the corner of my eye, like just something like when I look too quick.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. And then it was another time where I don't think Mama was there at the apartment with it was me, Emma, and Emma was doing something, and Uncle Lee. I mean, Honey's dad. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. You can say it. You can say it, because that's what they used to call him. They used to call him. Y'all already know his name,
yeah, but he told me to call him.
We're going to talk about that, because I never... Yo, the shit that my kids is telling me tonight, bro, it's like I never knew none of this shit. But go ahead.
Okay. This time, it kind of scared me a little bit, but once again, I was little. So, I was up playing around, and he was like, okay, I'm going to go washing. Because do you remember that there was like a washer in the apartment?
Yeah, in the apartment building. This was in North Dakota.
So, I'm just like, okay. He was like, do you want to come? And I said, no. So, because I was just in the house.
What was I?
I think you were either in the room doing something or like outside doing something, because you did still have Kari.
Okay.
Right. So I'm just like, okay, but he left the front door open. So me being like curious, I look out there, I peek through the front door like this, right? And I don't see nothing. So then I'm just like, okay, so I do it again, and I see someone standing in the hallway. So I'm like, is that you? Is that you?
You said that?
Yes, I said, Uncle Lee, is that you? And he didn't say nothing, so I'm still looking. I like look away, and then like they're just running really fast towards me. And then I do this, and then I look back, and he's like, haha, got you. I'm like, I'm like, okay.
What?
Yes, that I was like scared but like confused.
That sounds like something that happened to me. It wasn't exactly like that.
Bro, what?
I remember this one time where, I don't know, we were in Walmart. It was, I don't remember if you...
It might not.
I don't remember. I don't remember if, yeah, no, it wasn't, where he had the house.
Beulah. It wasn't, ain't no Walmart in Beulah. Ain't no Walmart in Beulah.
Okay, well, I think we were in, might not. I don't remember them being, actually, I do remember Tokus being there. She was on the side walking. I was in the cart thing. And then he said, want to go fast? And then I said, yeah. Then he started pushing me like overly fast down the hall. And it was like, my arm literally got stuck in the thing. And like, you know those, you know, and when you're in the cart and it's like those things where you put your legs in?
Yeah.
My arm was over the blue thing. And then when he was going, it was like, and it was close to the aisles, like the stuff on the shelves. My arm, it was hurting because it's running over it. So then he said the same thing, haha, I got you.
That's...
Yeah, I don't remember Mama being there though.
Okay, so family, like, again, the reason why we having this conversation is because we doing Bible study. A couple of things came up. I'm telling them about some of the things that I went through while being in North Dakota with them while they were little. I never had a conversation with them about him. You see what I'm saying? I got together with him while I was pregnant with this one, my 13-year-old. You see what I'm saying? After I had her, mind you, I was already stable in Chicago. I was working at a daycare. I had very good, stable income, had my own crib, and you know, he just bought up North Dakota to me. So my first reaction was like, North Dakota, like, nah. You see what I'm saying? And I remember him telling me, kept asking me. And I remember him telling me this one time, just come and visit. And if you like it, stay. If you don't, I'll send you back. You see what I'm saying? When I first got out there, I loved it. I loved the environment. I loved the air. I loved the atmosphere. The people was nice. And it's crazy because he had everything set up. We never had a conversation of him telling me he's going to go to North Dakota. He's going to work. All I know one day is I got a phone call. And it was him. I'll never forget. I was staying on, 69th and Perry. And I said, when I heard his voice, I said, why do the damn, what's the name, the caller ID say North Dakota? He was like, I'm here visiting my dad. So he told me he was visiting his dad. I'm like, okay, cool. Long story short, he ended up getting a job. Now, he never told me that this is what he was doing. I'm thinking he coming back. I'm like, okay, well, you ain't telling me you was leaving, but okay. Long story short, he ended up getting a job. The oil field was booming when he first went. That shit was cracking. He ended up getting a job at the oil field, getting a crib, getting a car. Everything was already ready for me to come down there. Like, I didn't know that this is what he was doing, though. I didn't know. We never had a conversation. He never told me that he wanted to move to North Dakota. He never told me that he wanted to live in North Dakota. It was he visiting his daddy, he coming back. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot to talk about, y'all. It's a lot. I'm gonna read the comments, but I'm just kind of baffled right now because some of the stuff that my kids was telling me. It was a lot of conversations that was had that I didn't know about. You see what I'm saying? Like in North Dakota, he was the one telling everybody that I was his wife. And even in the Bible, it says whoever you sleeping with, whoever you're sexually active with, you are married to that person. You see what I'm saying? It don't matter if you didn't have a ceremony or if you don't have a marriage license. Spiritually, you're connected. You're married. You become one vessel when you have intercourse with a person. You see what I'm saying? He was introducing me as his wife. I went along with the shit. And I just kept saying, okay, this my husband, this my husband, this my husband. Because technically, we were married. We were one vessel. We were. We were together for many years. You see what I'm saying? So I thought that this was someone that I could trust. I started seeing certain shit change. I want to say the first night that I got there. He was the king of the house. This is his house. He wanted me to cook dinner at a certain time, had his lunch ready. So he used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, okay, to head out to the oil field. I used to have to get up when he got up because he wanted his sandwiches fresh with a whole lot of meat on it. Like, I'm just telling y'all shit that I remember. You see what I'm saying? He wasn't one of them, okay, make it tonight, wrap it up in some aluminum foil, and then I have it in the... No, I had to get up when he got up. You see what I'm saying? If dinner wasn't ready when he got in from work, shit would get crazy. You see what I'm saying? So, and another thing, I couldn't work. When I first got to North Dakota, I'm going to say for the first 2 years, I couldn't work. I could not work. He didn't want me to work. He didn't. So I'm thinking like, okay, stay at home, mom, like this the lifestyle. And I kind of liked it at first. You see what I'm saying? But when I start seeing that, say for example, if we got into it and there wasn't no food in the house, he wouldn't get no food until shit got better. You see what I'm saying? So he would literally leave me and my kids in the house with no food.
But he cares.
Mind you, I'm in North Dakota, no friends, no family, small ass town. We was living in Hazen, North Dakota at the time. Small ass town, didn't have a car, didn't know nobody. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it was just shit like that. We were solely dependent upon him. Solely. You see, I wasn't getting no food stamps or nothing. And then when I brought up the idea of me getting a job, he'll shoot it down. Oh, you don't need to work. I'm taking care of everything. You ain't got to pay no rent. You ain't got to pay no bills. Like, so I went with it. You see what I'm saying? Mind you, my man was already shaped and molded. This was somebody I was dealing with since I was, 16. Known him since I was 16. So 17, 18, 19. You see what I'm saying? On up until the time I actually left. So that was a lot of molding and shaping. You see what I'm saying? That's why a lot of older men like younger women, because we're not fully mentally developed. You see what I'm saying? And there was a lot of things going on with me too, which is the reason why I said, you know what? Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to come out there. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of shit that I never really came out and talked about because it was no need for me to. But I had to cut this live on tonight because of the shit that my kids is telling me, bro. And another example, right? I remember one day we was in Beulah. I think we was in Beulah, North Dakota, at his dad's house. Or was it Hazen? Anyway, we was at his dad's house. And my kids had became friends with his cousin's girlfriend kids. Okay? So, this one particular day, right? The little girl, I forgot the little girl name. Carly had, I think, 2 daughters and a son, Killian. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah,
okay,
Killian,
so Killian is Honey's.
Dude, fat?
Yeah, that's Honey's cousin.
Yeah.
Because that's Mike's son.
And Emery
Lee and Mike are real blood cousins, right?
I remember him.
So there's one day, they over there playing, a little girl said something like to the... She made a statement basically saying that Lee was their daddy. And he got up in front of everybody and said, them not my kids, I'm not their dad. Said it just like that. Now, I didn't have a problem with him saying that, but it was the way he said it. And, like, you standing in front of, like, we had a family gathering, bro. Like, what... If you want to correct her, you can correct her, but you can pull her to the side. Like, you ain't gotta, like, y'all see what I'm saying? But the shit that's blowing me is what my daughter just said. Because I remember him specifically letting them kids know that he wasn't my kid's daddy. Okay? Now, Stink, tell them what you was just starting to tell me about this daddy shit. Because that shit just blew my man, bro.
So one day, me and Honey were playing by the stairs. The stairs were like, it had a cover of a rug. So me and Honey were sliding down the stairs like it was a slide. And then Honey mentioned something about, oh, do you want to hug my dad?
So Honey, for those of y'all don't know, Honey is my little girl. Honey is the child that me and him got together. You see what I'm saying? Keep going. So Honey said what?
Honey said, oh, you can hug my dad too. And Honey was, and then...
so Honey gave him a hug?
No, he was like, I think he was just standing there.
Okay.
Or like he came in, and then I said, I can't, that's not my dad, because that's what he used to tell us.
Right.
And then he said, you can hug me anytime, Stink, I'm your dad, come give me a hug. And then he had his arms open like this, so then I went down and gave him a hug, then I just went back to playing.
Yo, that shit crazy, bro. That shit, did he ever... Okay, so he said, what did you think at the time when he said that? Because you remember him saying that he ain't y'all dad, which he wasn't. But y'all was all he knew. He was all y'all knew at the time. You see what I'm saying? So I knew that he was saying that like, oh, I'm not they dad, them not my kids. And he was saying with like a little attitude. You see what I'm saying? But I never knew that he told my daughter what she just, I never knew this. I never knew this.
When he told me that, I really didn't know I really didn't know what to like react, because you just told me that I'm not your kid, and then now you're telling me.
You remember him saying that though?
Like at least
a couple of times,
twice.
Right?
And he would like talk to me like well, mostly Tokless, because when I'm around Tokless, he would talk to her like that's his kid. Like the way he would talk to her like that was his kid. He would be like not tell her to do stuff, but like, you know. So one time Tokless was on her tablet. I think we were on the bunk bed. He came in and said, "Aren't you supposed to be asleep?" And then I said, I don't know. And then Tokless she was like, she didn't know really what to do, so she was just laying there. And then he said, "No, not you." And then he looked at Tokless like, "Yeah, you." And then she said, "Okay," something like that. And then she put her tablet down. And another time, he would like, it's like he would pull me aside sometimes.
I never knew, on my life, I never knew this.
Like he would buy me stuff. He would take me, this was one time he took me on a drive. He said, "Do you want to go somewhere?"
Where was I at?
You were upstairs with Tokless and Honey.
Did you ask me, could you go on this drive with him?
I was like, "Okay, can I go ask Mom?" He was like, "Sure." And then I went upstairs to ask you. Then you said, "Sure."
Okay, I probably said, yeah. I probably did. I don't remember, but I probably did. Because this was somebody that I thought that I could trust.
And then we went, and then he took me. And then I was in the passenger seat. And then he put on Tom and Jerry. And then we went to the laundromat. Then he bought me some bubble gum. And then we went back. And then another time when we were at Walmart, we were all there, Tokless, Mama, and Honey. They were coming out of the car. And he was walking me. He said, "Does your mom hit on you?" That's what I remember him asking. Then I said, no. And then we kept walking to Walmart. And then when we got back, he actually bought me like toys from the Walmart. When we walked back, me and him were in the car, and I was like, "Where's Mama and Tokless and Honey?"
He asked you, do I hit you?
Yeah. And then I said, "Where's Mama and Honey?" And I said, "Oh, they'll be back soon." And I was getting kind of scared, because like, I want to be around you, like you're my mom. So I was getting kind of scared, and it was like, it felt so long, because we were just waiting in the car for you guys to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he would just do things like that. And then one time, me and Tokless were making a video, and he gave me money, and then he said, "What do you like about school?" And then I said,
he gave you what?
Money. He gave me like cash money. Then I just started playing with it, and then
to do what? To do what? To have?
I don't.
It was
Oh yeah,
video.
one time he had asked me for money. We was on a listen. I know it's crazy, but I was on a couch playing with his game, I think.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Sting, can I borrow something dollars? I think $5." And I was and I had a money jar. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember. Yep. Because I was giving y'all allowance.
He's like, "What do you need a money jar to run away?" I was like, "No." And then he said, "Okay, well, can I borrow $5?" I was like, okay. And then he said, "Okay." And then I went in the living room, and it was like $20 on the table in fives. And then I said, "Uncle Lee, you left your money on the table." He was like, "No, it's for you. I just wanted to see if you're gonna give me the money." Then I said, "Okay." And he would just do little things like that.
Bro. Oh my.
And I remember something too. So whenever it was time for us to go to bed, of course, Mama was in the room with us. But then, like when we went to sleep, she'd go downstairs to sleep, right? So I remember, like, okay, it was like when me and Emma were first starting, like our first days of school. But I started school before her because we went to like 2 different schools, right? So I remember I was like still up because I couldn't go to sleep. Mama would just come in the room randomly, checking on us, see if we were still awake. And
I remember,
like it would like be times where you would come in, right, and then you would leave, and then Uncle Lee would just like, it wasn't a regular door like with the twist. It was
the sliding doors.
Yes, he would just slide the door and just look and like just stand there and look for like a while. Like you would just look, say something, and then go back to bed. But then he would just slide the door and just stay looking.
I remember that.
Yes, like it was weird. And it would like be like when he was getting up for work, because I could hear when he was getting up for work because he was being loud. He would just peek in the room, do the la da da, do that all that other type of stuff, and then just leave back out like he didn't do nothing. Like
Shit, I remember one time, I had slept upstairs with y'all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So y'all know how I play the prayers in the living room on the laptop, right? That's the same laptop that I actually bought in North Dakota.
I remember, and it got fixed when it was by the heater.
Yes. So this one particular night, because my kids had bunk beds. I would sleep on the bottom bunk bed with Stink and Honey. Tucker would sleep on the top bunk bed. So I come in there, I go to sleep with them and whatever. And I had the prayers playing like how I got it playing now. It never goes off. It's 24/7. It wasn't even loud. How could you hear? First of all, it was a 2-story house. You see what I'm saying? He was downstairs in the basement. So sometimes I would sleep down there with him, and then sometimes I sleep upstairs with my kids. You see what I'm saying? Just like now, everybody got their own room in their house, but sometimes we'll sleep in the living room together, or Honey will sleep in the room with Tugger, or just like last night, you and Honey slept in here with me. That's just how it go. My kids are attached to me. You can't break that, period. So this one night, I'm in the room with my kids, I'm asleep. I got the prayers going. Next thing I know, I just wake up. I don't know exactly what woke me up, but I woke up and he was like, y'all know how a bunk bed made? He was like standing, like hovering over me. You see what I'm saying? And I woke up, I kind of jumped back a little bit. He was like, this too loud, turn it down son. I was confused, right? Because I'm thinking to myself, first of all, how long was you standing right there? Second of all, how could you hear it all the way downstairs? Third of all, why you just ain't turn it down? You see what I'm saying? Shit like that. So I just turned it down. Okay, it was still going, but I turned it down. And I got back in the bed. It was so much weird shit going on.
Yes, and I remember.
No, let her go. It's her turn. Okay. Go ahead, Sam.
One time, I don't know, I was probably had an attitude with Mama, and then she said, okay, well, you're in timeout, and then she put me in the corner. And the corner, it wasn't even that far, but I don't know, I went out the room and into the corner, and all of I know, I hear footsteps, and then I had my teddy bear too. I don't know what type of teddy bear, but it doesn't matter. I turned around, and he's like, what's wrong? And I was crying because, like, I was in trouble. And then I was like, I don't know what I said. And then he just stared at me. He was like, okay, I'll handle it. Then he left. Another time, Mama had let me download this app, Likey, but she didn't let me post there or anything.
Okay, I remember Likey.
Yeah, and I was in the you know, you walk in and then you remember.
Yeah.
And I had my stuff on the charger. He was at the table eating a bowl of cereal or whatever, and then I had looked over and then looked back to my phone, and then I started feeling weird because I felt like somebody was watching me. So I looked back at the table and he stared at me like this, and then he was
what?
Like, and it was actually weird that he's like, he said, it's not nice to stare at people. And I was like, I know, I didn't really know what to say. I was like, sorry, I know, or something like that.
I'm over here doing it too.
And it was like so weird because he was at the table staring at me, and he wasn't even eating.
I noticed, bro. I swear on my God, I'm getting chills right now.
I remember something
because
he wasn't even eating. The spoon was just in his hand. The milk was dripping, and he was like, it's not nice to stare at people.
I remember something. So in the kitchen, like
bro,
under the stove, there would be that camera right there. He told me that wasn't a camera. That was just a light.
He told me to say
I felt weird. I felt like it was a camera,
bro.
and I felt like it was like.
Yes, honey. Not yet, love. We almost done.
I literally felt like it was. I felt like it was a camera. I felt like he was lying, but I didn't say nothing about it.
Hold on, Coco. I knew about one camera when we wasn't living together. I had my own house. You see what I'm saying? I knew about one camera. So a year or two later, I'm not knowing that the same cameras is in. I don't know. I did not know that man had cameras in his house. I sent him a message one time asking him to send me the video of him and Honey in the kitchen. You literally just heard my daughter say that she didn't even know that was a camera. I didn't know that. I thought it was a light.
Me too, because that's what he said. And then
I didn't know.
Another thing is that you know how, okay, we don't have no brothers here. We just walk around however we want to. When he wasn't there, we would walk around however we wanted to.
Exactly.
Yeah. And there's a camera in the kitchen.
Exactly.
You're weird.
And this is what I was trying to tell my audience, because I never had this conversation with my kids until now. They old enough now. Stink is 13, finna be 14, Tucker 15, finna be 16. I just told my kids that he tried to take y'all away from me. He tried to get y'all taken from me. He said I was beating on y'all, abusing y'all, all type. The house was dirty. bathroom messy. He said he got online and said and I never bought this to y'all. I never bought y'all online to try to defend me because that's not y'all business. That's not y'all place. I don't never put y'all in grown folks' business. But when I'm telling y'all, this man tried to get y'all taken. He tried to get y'all in DCFS custody and he tried to get Honey. That's what his goal was. I don't know the reason to this day. I don't know the reason, bro. All I know is the man is sick. The man is, bro, God is my witness. God can strike me down, kill me right now if I'm lying. God knows. I didn't know how sick the man was until I left the state. Mind you, I had left the crib before, left the town before, moved to another town. Mind y'all, I had to figure shit out. When I got my very first apartment, let me tell y'all how I got my first apartment, bro. We got into it. He ended up taking my keys, putting me out, locking me out the house. I didn't even have a car at this time. I had no car. I think I was pregnant. I don't even know if I was pregnant or not. But anyway, I went to my kids' school and asked if I could speak to a counselor. They was going to Hazen Elementary. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. They got the counselor.
Oh, Mama.
Huh?
I remember something.
What?
One time, he was in One time he was in the living room doing his workout. And then I went over and I saw him doing it. And I was like, ooh, can I try? He literally said yes. I don't know. He was putting something on the waist or something. I don't know if he was fixing it or not. So then I tried to do it. It literally almost fell on me.
He let you lift the weight bar?
He didn't really let me lift it. It was like I was trying to. And it was getting
Where was he standing?
On the side.
Of you?
This is the weight bar. He was standing on the side, and I was laying down on the thing. It wasn't really, like, lifted off, but I was holding it, like, it was wiggly, and then he caught it and said, I got you. And then I chuckled, like, nervously or something, you know, in an awkward chuckle.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, okay, let me get back to my workout and stuff. And I was like, okay, then I went upstairs. Or left. I don't know where I went.
So, anyway, went to my kids' school, asked if I could speak to a counselor. Okay? It would be times where he'll put me out and my kids would be in school and I just be out. You see what I'm saying? So this one particular day, I went to my kids' school, asked if I could speak to a counselor, asked them if they had any resources for me. Told them I was a single mom. I'm out here with such and such. This is what's going on. This is what he's doing. I don't have anywhere to go. What resources do you have? And at that particular time, that's when they contacted Minot DVCC. Okay? Domestic Violence Crisis Center. Okay, and then they contacted another one. It was a lady named Sandy Ratterith. I think they contacted the DVCC first. Somebody, I think the director was on break or something, and then they contacted Sandy Ratterith, and they was like, "Well, Miss Sandy Ratterith is available now." You see what I'm saying? But Sandy Ratterith was in the same town, so the counselor put me in her car when my kids were still in school. We went over to her office. I talked. It was Sandy and a lady named Miss Annette. Okay, I talked to them, told them what was going on and everything. At the time, my only income at the time was my daughter's disability check, because my daughter was on disability for a while because when she was premature, her lungs used to always collapse. So she was on disability for a while. That was the only income I had. I didn't even have food stamps. You see what I'm saying? So I talked to her, told her what was going on. She asked me what my income was, this, that, and the other. Those people were so nice to me. She gave me the keys in my hand right then and there. Right then and there. Okay? I told her how much money I had and everything. She told me, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. This, that, and the other. They bought groceries for me, furnished my whole entire... It was people from Beulah, North Dakota, Zap, North Dakota, Hazen, North Dakota, all over the town, furnishing my house. I'm talking about beds, TVs, clothes, toys, couches, a computer. Furnished my whole crib, table, everything. Okay? It got to the point to where they was trying to write an article about me and put it in a newspaper. But I felt that was doing too much, because if you're going to help me, help me. I don't want to be nobody's charity case. So I declined the offer for them to put the story in the newspaper. You see what I'm saying? 2-bedroom crib, balcony, nice as hell. Everything. I didn't have to buy nothing. That's how I got my first crib, because I got tired of this man putting me out the crib, bro. I got tired of it. It's like it was some type of high that he got from, you see what I'm saying? Because I would literally be not begging, but damn near begging. Like, Well, if you ain't gonna let me in, let my kids in, like you got us out here type shit. You see what I'm saying? I was decent where I was at. I was stable where I was at. You see what I'm saying? Now you got me out here and you want to do what? Mentally, emotionally, psychologically abuse me? Because that's what he was good at doing. Yes, there was physical abuse. Yes, there were times that nigga put his hands on me. Yes, there were. Okay? But he was mentally, emotionally, and psychologically, he liked to play games like with your head. Like with your mind. To the point to where you would be questioning your own sanity. You see what I'm saying? And I did not know that he was having conversations with my kids the way that he was doing. Another time, that awkward ass look you was telling me about, tell me why one day I go downstairs, I think because the bathroom upstairs was being occupied. One of y'all was in the bathroom. So I went downstairs to use the bathroom. He was in the goddamn studio, right? I come out the bathroom and I'm going up the stairs. Don't you know how you can feel when somebody got their eyes on you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Before I could put my foot on the first step, I turn around and he's staring at me with this blank ass stare. Just staring at me. Not blinking. God is my witness. Not blinking. Not doing shit.
One time.
And hold on. So I looked. He was literally he was sitting back. He was just staring at me, bro, like this. Just like that. And so I looked. I'm like, I did that face. I'm like, and I went the fuck upstairs. I would never forget that moment because it was like, it was something that wasn't right. You see what I'm saying? And it will always be these moments where I find this nigga just staring for no reason. But it was a blank stare. Like, your eyes ain't blinking. Your pupils big. Like, it was weird, bro. Mm-hmm. It was weird. Almost like a demon or some shit. You see what I'm saying? So, now tonight I'm finding out all the conversations that he had with my kids. And all, like, bro, I never knew this. I never knew this. He never told me none of this shit. My kids never told me none of this shit until tonight. You see what I'm saying? When we be doing Bible study sometimes stuff just come out. And it was meant for us to have this conversation. And I needed to go live because I needed my kids to be heard. You see what I'm saying? I never showed them the shit that was on the internet that he posted. I never told my daughter that he posted your mail one day.
My what?
Your mail. When you was on disability, he posted your mail. You see what I'm saying? You a minor. You see what I'm saying? Your information. Putting all y'all shit out there. He wasn't never supposed to do that shit. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't have conversations with your kids until they are old enough to understand. You see what I'm saying? And so, like, by them telling me this shit tonight, it's like, yo, like, what the fuck? What was he really trying to do?
Yes, and it would be times sometimes where mama wouldn't be around, and then, like, he would ask me to do something, like, he'll, like, be like, oh, go get this for me out the fridge, or, like, go do this for honey, or da-da-da-da, and I'll be like, okay, and then, like, when I come back to the room to give it to him, or to give what he wanted me to give him for honey, he'd be like, shh, don't tell your mom. He will always say, shh, don't tell your mom. Just like that one time where all the bags were about to do and we were getting ready to leave, and he was like, give me some of honey's clothes, because he was getting kind of mad. I was just standing there not saying nothing at first, because I'm like, my mom told me not to do this, so I'm not going to do it. But I don't remember you telling me not to give him some of honey's stuff. You just told me to get all the stuff ready. Mm-hmm. So he came in through the door. He was like, give me some of honey's stuff, because I think he figured out that we were leaving and he wanted to keep some of, I don't know. So he was like, give me some of honey's stuff. And I was like, I was hesitant. But then I was like, okay. So I pointed to the bag where honey's stuff was. And he was like, shh, don't tell your mom. Don't tell your mom. And I'm just like, so then I go back upstairs to the room.
Yeah.
See, I don't, and, well, go ahead.
One time, it was nighttime. And I don't know, I think you and Tokus were upstairs asleep. Me and Honey, it was just me, Honey, and him on the couch in the living room. He had this zombie game on, and Honey was playing with it, and
Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I was on the phone. Well, I don't know what it was, but you had on your phone or something like that. And I was on it, and I was just making beats. And then he was like, it was so weird, because I wasn't really into the game. I was just there to be there. And I was on his side, Honey was on his other side, and she was playing the game or whatever. I don't remember what she was doing. but he had turned over to me. He was like, "Do you want to play?" I was like, "No," and I want to play the game I'm playing on my phone. It was this beat game. So he was like, "Let me hear the beat." And I was like, "Okay." And then I think that's where when he like started getting interested in me going downstairs to do the video and recordings with him. And that was so weird because when he said, "Do you want to play?" It was like he was like it was I can't explain it. His expression was so weird. He was like, "Do you want to play?" I can't explain.
I didn't really go ahead, Tugger.
And I also have something else to say. It was this one time where Mama was in her room. I think she was either dozing off because she wasn't fully asleep because she came in the room where me and Emma was at. So I was awake on my tablet, and Honey's dad would just come in the room, and he came in the room. He was like, "You're still up?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm still up."
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. He was like, "Do you want to come out here and play the game?" I was like, "Okay, sure." So then Mama came out there. No, this before Mama came out there. He was like, he was drinking something. He went to the kitchen to go get something. And he was like, "Do you want some?" And I was like, I didn't know what it was. So I obviously said no. I was like, "What is that?" He was like, "It's grape juice." Me being me, I know it's not grape juice. It was wine. I knew what it was. It was alcohol. He was like, "Do you want some of this?" I was like, "No." I was like, "No." He was like, "It's grape juice. It's grape juice. Try some. Try some." So then I was like, "No." He was like, "Try some." And then he was like getting kind of mad. And then that's when Mama came out. And he changed. He started laughing, smiling, talking about, "Oh, just kidding. Do you want to play the game?" And I'm just like, I'm just looking like, bro, you just tried to offer me something that I possibly could pass away from. Like, I'm just little. I'm a kid, bro. Like,
That's insane.
Bro, all my life, I never knew this. I never knew this, bro. He used to keep wine in the refrigerator. He used to keep wine in the refrigerator.
and then there was,
I never knew.
yes, there was like, and it was kind of weird. Like, we weren't his kids. He kept saying that we weren't his kids.
He kept saying that. He made sure he said that.
Yes, and there were times where we would all go to Walmart. You would buy separate food for us. He would buy food for him, blah, right? So, like, there would be times where I would, like, just get up to go get something out the fridge. And then he'll just be like, "Oh, you can't eat that. You can't eat that, blah, blah, blah." And I'll be like, "But these are mine. Because you used to buy us our own snacks." I'll be like, "These are mine." He was like, "You can't eat that, this and that." I'm like, okay. And then one time when
I didn't know that either.
One time when it was morning, I was getting cereal. And there was almond milk, oat milk, and like coconut milk. And I grabbed the oat milk, right? Because I wanted to try it. I never had it before. So I get it. He come talking about some, blah, blah, blah. "Why are you getting this milk? You're supposed to be drinking almond milk." I'm like, I didn't know. Like, he talking about some, "This is my milk for my cereal. You have your own milk. Your mom bought you your own milk, so drink it." I'm like, okay, I
He
didn't
did
know.
not do any of that.
I never knew that. First of all, let's set the record straight. Every time we went to Walmart, I was buying his food. Okay? Because it was at one point in time where I did end up getting on food stamps in North Dakota. Because, when you in a shelter, they, give you different resources and, stuff like that, housing and stuff like that. So when we finally went back to his house after coming back from Oklahoma, every single time we went to Walmart, I paid for his stuff. We never had a conversation about, okay, this is your stuff, this is my stuff, this is what we not gonna touch, this is what you not gonna touch. We never had that conversation. To my understanding, everything was everything. You see what I'm saying? Mind you, on my life, God can strike me down right now. When I was in Oklahoma, and I told this man that I might not be coming back, that's when he wanted to work it out. That's when he wanted to try to, you see what I'm saying, give it another shot. And he talked me back. Mind you, I still had my house. That's number one. When I was in Oklahoma, I still had my house in Minot, North Dakota. So, against my better judgment, like a dumbass, against my better judgment, I said, okay. After all the getting put out, after all that shit, bro, I went back again.
That's why I wanted to ask you that question, but I didn't want to feel like I was being getting out of a child's place. That's why I didn't ask it. And I also remember like when we were living in his apartment, I think it was the house. And like I never took out the trash by myself. I wanted to take out the trash by myself. So he was like, "Okay, you can take out the trash." And you said that I could. So you were watching me through the door, And then before I went to go get the trash, he was like, be careful, the wolves might come and get you. The wolves might come and get you. I'm like, huh? So I'm just like, okay, so I run really, really fast to the garbage and I come back. He was like, are you okay? Did they get you? Did they get you? I'm like, no. He was like, okay, good, because sometimes they get me. I'm like, huh?
I remember one time, now mind you, this was after we came back from Oklahoma. This was after the deliverance. We had all got baptized, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time we downstairs, we chilling in the bed, just laying down, talking. And he had said something to the effect of, I forgot what the conversation was about, but he was saying something. I remember him verbatimly saying that he talked to spirits. Okay? He did say that. And going through what we had just went through, now I'm on edge. Cause like what you mean you talk to spirits? Y'all know all that stuff we had just went through.
Right.
You got baptized, we did this, we did that, like we trying to start over new. So I didn't really think too much of it, but I was a little
Skeptical.
very skeptical. Then mind you, in the studio, he had a big ass crystal. It was like a big ass crystal. He had an amethyst, he had sage.
Salt lamp.
Yeah, he had
videos of him being cloned.
He had all of
The
that.
unk.
Yup, he had that big old unk that I used to wear.
Yes.
He gave me that unk. I used to have a big it was heavy. A big dumbass unk that he gave to me. That was from him. You see what I'm saying? So the point of me saying all this is the stuff that I got into far as spirituality came from him. You see what I'm saying? I feel like the enemy, the adversary, the devil always have a plan. You see what I'm saying? And it just so happened that he was a part of my journey, but in a negative way. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to say this. It don't matter how long you been with somebody, you still could probably never know him. I was with this man for a very long time. That's why I never got on here to come and defend myself, because I knew what he was doing was bullshit. I knew it. So okay, go ahead. I'm gonna take that public lashing. I'm gonna let y'all talk. I'm gonna let y'all make videos. I'm gonna let y'all do this. I'm gonna let y'all do this shit. You see what I'm saying? No, your Pharaoh ain't got nothing to do with this. No, I didn't meet Young Pharaoh through him. I met Young Pharaoh online. Actually, Young Pharaoh reached out to me one day because he wanted to interview me about Nature Boy. And all this shit is crazy, because when I first ran into Nature Boy online and I started seeing some of the videos and how he treat the women, I used to always say to myself, he act just like Nature Boy. Talking about the man I was with. My daughter's dead. I used to always say to myself, this nigga act just like Nature Boy. So many similarities. I'm talking about from the psychological games that he would play, from how he would talk to them. But I used to say, yo, this man so I still to this day, I don't know. Well, actually, I do know why. Because I was doing my little movement at the time, and I was like, yo, why these women ain't speaking up for themselves? You see what I'm saying? Knowing damn well I'm in the same situation, not speaking up for myself. You see what I'm saying? So at that time, social media was my outlet. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Social media was my outlet to kind of get away from that reality that I was in. And it put me in another reality of some women that was going through the same shit that I was going through. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, the shit is crazy. The shit is crazy. And I got this one video in my phone.
That's what I was just thinking about.
Of this man that I still have never put out yet. When the time is right, I'm going to show y'all this video. When it's still not the right time. It's still not the right time. I'm going to hold on to it. I've been holding on to it for the last 4 years. When the time is right, this nigga that got on here and said have I ever abused y'all?
No.
Like, what? Like, he had everybody online saying that I abused y'all. Y'all remember when the DCFS came, we was staying with grandma? They said, yo,
remember that.
the report was crazy. I was in New York getting ready for my marriage at the time. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, he linked up with other people online that I did not know, to do all because I left. So, like I was saying earlier, I had left him before, but you see what I'm saying? And I don't even know what he was talking about with the seatbelt. Like, I yell at my kids right now. I yell. I curse. I definitely do. I hard parent my kids. I'm not a soft parent. You see what I'm saying? I talk to my kids like I'm Bernie Mac sometimes when I have to. But the seatbelt thing, because a lot of the shit that he got on here and did, I didn't even watch. I never watched it. It was one portion that I did screen record. That was the portion where he was talking about the fight we got into and how he admitted that he did fight me and how the police was called. That's the only part that I recorded. But all that other shit, I never recorded it. I never, you see what I'm saying? Up until he started doing, fucking with my business and all that shit. We got some legal shit going on. Like, it's just so much shit that I still haven't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna stop fucking playing with me and you gonna stop fucking playing with my kids. Period, point blank. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit what you talking about. So, the fact that I had actually left the state of North Dakota, because I would leave them. I would leave the town. You see what I'm saying? I would get me a different crib. But I had never left the state. So, by me actually leaving the state, that kind of did something. Yes, love?
Mama, are you almost done?
Yes, I'm almost done.
3 more minutes, honey.
3 more minutes. Give me like 5 more minutes. By me actually leaving the state, that kind of did, I don't know what it did to his brain. I don't know what it did. Because he used to me coming, there you go.
He wanted to keep doing what
He was doing. Exactly. And I'm so glad my kids is old enough to understand this now.
Control.
He was in control. That was the power. You see what I'm saying? He lost the power. Mm-hmm. He lost the power. You see what I'm saying? He was just used to me steady coming back. But this time, nigga, if I leave the state, how can I come back? You see what I'm saying? If I get back around my friends and my family and people that love me, people that can help me, what power do you have over me? What power? None. The power is gone. I left my house fully furnished, left my car parked in front of the house. Right. When he was saying that I was homeless, we was living in a hotel because that's where the shelter put us, because the shelter was full. They were busy working on another shelter for women and children. Okay, so they was giving out hotel vouchers. You see what I'm saying? So he catch me on camera one day going to Walmart. I didn't have a car at that time. And I'm like, I'm like, if you in Beulah, North Dakota, and that's 2 hours away from Minot, how did you... So he get online and lie and say she had a lot of enemies in North Dakota. I had a lot of friends in North Dakota, bro. What are you talking about, bro?
How could you have enemies when you didn't know nobody?
I didn't know nobody. Who? Carmen, Kiki... Nana, like people that I Heaven, Rhonda, people that I knew that I met these people at the shelter. Women that was in the same position, Faith, people that was in the same position. I didn't have no enemies in North Dakota. You see what I'm saying? I didn't have no. So he was already plotting and planning in this.
And how he gonna tell you got enemies?
Because he's sick. He was plotting and planning this from the whole time. Like if I ever was to really try to leave him. You see what I'm saying? Or if I ever really was to, do this, that, like, it was a lot of sick shit. It was a lot of sick shit. And this is why I had to do what I had to do. I definitely got out of there, Coco. After I saw myself on YouTube, I'm going to Walmart getting food for my kids, right? While they in school. You find me 2 hours away. Stalker. Tracking device under my damn Chevy Trailblazer. Video record. You can see me, but I can't see you. I still got the police call. I still got the police video from that day when I called the police. You see what I'm saying? I still got that. I still just got so much shit. So much shit. You see what I'm saying? I didn't really take legal action until I came to Chicago. Where my family at. Where my aunties was at. Where my family lawyer at. You see what I'm saying? People that can support me. Because after the whole DCFS thing coming to the crib, while I'm in New York trying to get ready for my wedding, my family was like, no, this nigga's sick. This nigga's sick. When I got married, when I was, you don't remember Sting. You don't remember. You remember?
Light skin?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, it was just a lot of shit that was going on. But, me actually leaving the state, it did something to him. All the power was stripped. All the power was gone.
So what state were we in?
Y'all was here with grandma. What you talking about? There was no more controlling me. There was no more trying to mentally manipulate my kids. There was no more none of that. There was no more putting us out. You see what I'm saying? It was no more none of that shit. The power was gone. So he felt that if he come on social media, now I didn't know he was watching the way he was watching me on social media. I didn't know this. There would be times where he would talk about it and try to ask me questions, and I would tell him, you see what I'm saying, what's going on. But I didn't know that he was watching me to the point to where he would go to the ops. You see what I'm saying? Like that shit, I wasn't even really mad with that shit. I was just like, damn, like this nigga is really a snake. You really was sleeping with the devil. Like it baffled me. It really made me just look at life different. You see what I'm saying? And it really made me not trust nobody. It really made me not trust nobody. And I still, right now to this day, I don't trust a single solitary soul. You see what I'm saying? Because the person that you're sleeping with could be the one that's out. And it's crazy because even before we left to North Dakota, even when we was still in Chicago, he would always say, I'm not out to get you. He would always tell me that. I'm not out to get you. I'm not out to get you. Well, why are you telling me this? What, are you up to something? And I'm thinking now, like, why did he used to always tell me that?
He used to always say to me, I guess since I was the oldest, he used to always be like, oh, I'm here for you guys. Oh, I'm always watching. I'm always doing this. I'm always here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay.
He really tried it with me. He really tried to have a deep connection with me. Because he literally, right by the stairs, you can call me dad. Come give me a hug. Like,
wow. Like you say you're not watching, but yet
the man was watching everything, bro. Like, if I put this video out, that shit really probably gonna shock the internet. But I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna hold on to that as long as I can. Because I want y'all to know how demonic, like, it was a lot of demonic shit. You see what I'm saying? That was going on. It was a lot of demonic shit that was going on. You see what I'm saying? And kids are more open. They're more vulnerable. You see what I'm saying? To information. You see what I'm saying? And I just never knew about the conversations that was being had, especially with the kids that you say that wasn't yours. But then behind my back, you telling my daughter to call you daddy. Like, what? But you wasn't acting like a daddy, though. You see what I'm saying? My kids had to see me go from shelter to shelter to shelter to shelter to shelter to shelter. And then he'll text me and email me like, you ready to come home? Of course I wanted to come home. I didn't want my kids. I didn't want to be in no shelter with my kids.
I didn't want to be out in the first place.
You see what I'm saying? Why you put us out in the first place? You see what I'm saying? Why you make us sleep in the car in the first place? So of course I didn't have a choice. So of course women that never been through shit like that, of course they wouldn't understand. Well, why it take you so long to leave? Dummy, because I was mentally abused. I was mentally fucked up. You see what I'm saying? I was mentally unaware. Like, my man was gone. This is someone, like I said, who had molded and shaped me since I was 17, 18 years old. You see what I'm saying? And still, right now to this day, I had never said nothing about it. I just heard my kids tell me the shit that they was telling me that I never knew about. I never knew none of this shit. So how do y'all feel? How did y'all feel when we actually left, honestly?
I actually felt happy. I actually felt really happy. But I was kind of like worried and kind of skeptical at the time that we were going to go back.
You thought I was going to go back to North Dakota?
Yeah, with him.
Why did you think that?
Because it happened like so many other times. And like I didn't want it to happen again. But like once again, I'm a little kid. What can I do?
I don't know. Because I don't want to say I was attached to him. But like
you were, you probably were.
Doing for me, I didn't know that was bad.
Right, he was
like
he was a father figure.
Right.
Because he would favor me. I wouldn't say favor, but he would like do so many stuff for me. He said you could call me that. I didn't really have like a father figure, so I was like, wow, this is so cool. Mm-hmm. And then he would take me for drives. He would buy me stuff. He would talk to me. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to see him again. Because when we left, I was like, man, I hope I see him again. Or something like that. But at the same time, I really didn't care because I was little and I didn't really know what to think.
How do you feel about him now?
Terrible.
Like he's a horrible person. I do not care for that man.
Have I ever said anything negative about him in front of y'all?
No.
Have you ever heard me talk negatively about him in front of Honey.
No.
Never. Even when we was going through my kids didn't know this, but all the stuff that he was doing on social media, because see, the power was stripped when I left. So he thought that he had gained access again on social media. You see what I'm saying? So the whole social media thing gave him another form of power because he linked up with people who didn't know me personally that also didn't like me. You see what I'm saying? So let me just read some of these comments too now, because I think if people didn't know you from helping those women, it would have held more weight. But we knew the power was within you, Cynthia. You chose your family. You never spoke negative about him until he came out. We had no idea. I didn't even know what the hell was going on. Miss Divine Adson, peace and positivity. Wow, that's why I am never choosing my own man. The universe hooked me up with young Pharaoh. I know me and my children are safe with him. Okay, who is this? Peace and positivity. Piece of positivity. My children, dad wanted to set me up with my family. The universe said he was supposed to choke me out to kill me. Shaking my head, I left him 5 years ago and been selling me. So, okay, what attachment do you have to young Pharaoh? That's what I want to know. Please tell me he wasn't trying to groom baby girl. Susie M., I don't think that he was trying to groom her in a sexual way. I think he was trying to,
What's groom?
Basically, he was trying to groom you. He was, yeah, he was, all of y'all, both of y'all, but I think you more because you were younger than Tugger at the time, and you was just more, you were more innocent. Tugger was innocent too. You see what I'm saying? But why did he tell you to call him dad and not tell Tugger? You see what I'm saying? Because you was just way more innocent. You was more innocent.
Yeah, he was always around, like how in Oklahoma the old lady was always around. Mm-hmm. It was like he would never go away. Like every
yeah, and
time
I didn't know that.
Over my shoulder or looking away, he's always there, and he would always try to be so like caring and seem like he actually cared about us. He would sometimes tell me, "Oh, I care about you and your sisters," and then he said, "Don't forget me to call. You can call me Dad." He would like remind me sometimes.
Did he ever say that he cared about me though?
Huh?
Y'all ain't never found that weird?
Yeah, that was
that he
weird.
never said he cared about y'all, but he didn't care about me. You see what I'm saying? He was trying to take y'all away from me for whatever reason. He was trying to take y'all away from me.
Basically, he just didn't want to see you happy.
He didn't want to see me happy, and it took me all those years. You see what I'm saying? It took me all those years to finally see that this is not okay. You see what I'm saying? Because some women, they get immune to the abuse. They could never leave them. They still love their abuser. They think that that's all they got. You see what I'm saying? Even with children. But I don't know if it was God. It had to be God because something in me said, and the way that it all worked out and everything, I thank him for coming online. Because had he not came online, guess what? We probably would still be in North Dakota. He probably did some dumb shit to try to get y'all taken away or something. Who knows? But I was forced to come out and talk and tell ZX what was going on. And as soon as I told ZX what was going on, ZX got me the fuck up out of there. ZX is a what? ZX is a lifesaver. He's a W. He's a winner. So everything works out. What the devil think he's trying to use for his good, what's going to be bad, God going to use that turn around for his glory. See what I'm saying? He got online and said, I kept my house dirty, filthy. Y'all was living in squalor. Y'all was living in a pigsty.
Mama is a clean.
Y'all was living like y'all was living in straight trash. I never told y'all this. You see what I'm saying? Uploaded videos. Ooh, look at her toilet. It's shitty. It's nasty. Look at this. No, this is what he really did. I'm for real. This is what he did. I'm telling y'all, this is what he really did, though. You see what I'm saying? He was feeling himself. And then what God turn around and do? Turn around, I come back to Chicago, got the business is booming, money up the ass, got a decent car. Like you see what I'm saying? I'm just showing you, like, God can turn it around for his glory. So everything always, it was a trial and tribulation.
And another time, I remember, you were doing my hair, I think, before I had dreads, obviously. You were doing my hair. And I don't know, I think it was you put a plastic bag over my head so like it could stay dry.
Because of the conditioner. Yeah.
And he was like, I can help or I can do that. And then I started saying, I want what was Uncle Lee. And I started saying, I want Uncle Lee to do it. And then he was like, I don't remember the whole thing, but he was like, can I do it? Or something like that. He was kind of aggressive when he said it too. But that's all I remember. It was something about my hair. And he was like, oh, I could do it. she wants me to do it, so why don't you let me do it? And this and that.
I think was I right there around that time?
Yeah, you were.
And I was like, nah, you're not doing my daughter hair.
I remember another time.
I remember that.
I remember another time where I didn't have my dreads, and like you used to twist my hair up, and I wanted my hair flat ironed, and I kept asking you, but you wouldn't do it. So then I told Honey's dad about it, and he was like, oh, I could do it. Da, 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 da. And then he was like, oh, well, we can do it with the hair dryer, da, 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 da. And then you kept saying no. And then he got mad about some, well, how come I can't do it? You don't want to do it because she asked me, not you.
I remember that. So my kids was little at the time. So, of course, if I say no to something, if they see another adult that they are comfortable with trying to get them what they want, then, of course, you see what I'm saying? That's how you groom a child. You see what I'm saying? To try to get them on your side. So I said I didn't want to put no chemicals in your hair. I didn't want to put no heat to your hair. Mm-hmm. But he turned around and said, well, I can do it. Your mama gonna want to do it, but I can do it. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, it was just a lot, bro. It was a lot. It's a lot more. It's a lot more. But when the time is right, we're gonna come out and we're gonna talk about the shit. Period, point blank. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So man, I just had that conversation was deep. That was deep, bro.
Mama's reaction kind of caught me off guard. I didn't expect her to be so shocked when
I was shocked. Like, it was tears in my eyes.
And it's crazy because we were so little. Not even a preteen yet. Like 10, 11.
They were young. My kids were young.
Like 7?
We went to... No, y'all was young. Younger, y'all 2 years apart. So when we went to North Dakota, Tucker was 4 and you was 2. See what I'm saying? Yeah.
You showed us the video.
Yep. I got the videos. Then remember, y'all, he was on here saying, oh, he was never with me. We was never together. Like, what? So who was you with, bro? Like, my Tugger was 4. Stink was 2. I was just recently showing my kids videos.
Right. I was 2.
You were 2. You wasn't even talking yet. Remember the videos that I showed you?
I wasn't talking.
No, that was the videos that I was showing you. We was in North Dakota.
What?
The baby videos. That was in North Dakota.
I remember.
I literally remember me being able to talk and all of that.
Because you grew up in North Dakota. Honey is the only one that's from North Dakota because she was born there.
I literally remember being able to talk over there and everything.
Yeah, so
I was able to talk like talk.
But y'all, we didn't even finish our Bible session. We gonna finish this Bible session, y'all. And we just had to have this real nigga moment. Remember Nature Boy used to have real nigga moments? We just had to have this real nigga moment because that just came out of nowhere. My kids was telling me, and I just had to share that. I'm glad that I got some of this shit off my chest. It's a lot more that I'm going to get off, but just not right now. It's, guys, timing is everything, So with that being said, thank y'all for tuning in. I need to get in touch with this, who was this in the comments? What's her name? Coco Divine. She said peace and positivity. Okay, I saw that one. And then she said, well, no, that was Coco. It was another one she said. Peace and positivity. How did you meet Young Pharaoh? Through him. I did not meet him through Young Pharaoh. No. I need to get in contact with that person. Because she said that she go with Young Pharaoh or something like that. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. But anyway, y'all.
She said Young Pharaoh.
Thank y'all for tuning in. And I'm going to check y'all out next time. Y'all have a good night.